It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello.
Green screen on your YouTube videos. Took me a while to master. Took me about 4 years to master. It was pretty bad. Yeah, it was pretty bad. When I first started, of course. Simplest thing. You put up a green screen behind you. This is not a green screen. I'm going to show you today how to do it. And you can see my shop is a mess like it always is. And that's why I use a green screen sometimes, so you don't see my big mess back there. When I first started out my green screen, I literally took papers like this. I scotch taped them together, put them up here behind me, and it worked a little bit. I mean, all you really need is something green, right? That's what I'm thinking. So I scotch taped a bunch of these together and put them behind me, and this is kind of the effect I got. With the green screen turned on, you can see what I got. I mean, this is the background I have set up. It's the background I used for last night's video. But anything green will be changed to background picture. Sounds simple enough, doesn't it? Well, it's really not. It took me a while to learn it. And I'm going to tell you today how we can do this cheap and easy to get the results I had from my last video. Here we go. So if you've watched a lot of my videos, you know that I'm not really into spending a lot of money to make the videos. I'm not a high budget, flashy, special effects kind of guy. I just don't do that. I try to do it as cheap as possible and get the best effects I can. Plus, I'm sorry, my special effects are not really, they're not really needed for what I do. But what I do like to do is, like I said, this shop's a mess right now. You're seeing my shop. Let me take a step aside so you can take a peek. You can see I have some projects here on the table that I'm working on for my eBay store. I just have a whole bunch of junk over there. It's a mess. It's a mess. And you know what they say, a messy desk is a sign of a genius. Well, I'm not no genius. But I am frugal. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to green screen this room right now, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. I will cut this to try to make it as quick as possible, but there's points that I need to show you that I learned over the years from watching other YouTubers, talking to other people, and I actually had somebody ask me to help them with their green screen. They're trying to start their channel up, and I admire that, so I'm going to help any way I can. I'm not an expert. This is just how I do it. So let's get started. The first thing you need is something green. Don't use those poster boards. That was a mistake. That's when I first started and didn't know what I was doing. So here's what we're going to do. All this is fabric that I bought from Walmart of all places, you know, because Walmart's the place to go. I took 2 panels and I sewed them together. Here's a seam right there. Sewed them together. Basically a sheet. Now, the green screen's not on right now. That's why you're actually seeing the green. And I've already set my clamps up to hold it to the ceiling. And we're going to put them up. I just simply go right across my background. Real high tech. I'm using thumbtacks to hold them up. I try to make it as taut as possible. As you can see, it's got a lot of wrinkles in it. I mean, in a perfect world, you wouldn't have wrinkles or defects or anything. But that never bothered me. Okay, that's step 1. I got green behind me. I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit to get rid of anything that's not green. Do you see this spot that's right there? Right? Yeah, there. There's one there, and there's one right above my head here. Those are lights behind the screen. We don't want those, so I'm going to go turn those off. And here we are. I shut them off. You see a few shadows here, a big shadow coming down here. We're hoping that won't be a problem. In a perfect world, you would stretch this out. There, see, that looks better. But like I was saying, you can get on the internet and buy a green screen for $100, $200. I'm getting the same effect from a piece of fabric I bought from Walmart. But that's not all you need. Your lighting is very important. And now we're going to show you the lighting I'm using to light myself up and the green screen. Because any shadows, it can really mess you up. Now my lighting, it's still ghetto, but I'm going to show you. Now the key is the lighting. If you have to picture, you don't want any shadows behind you. I don't want a shadow of me sitting here. You don't want lights behind your screen. So if you're hanging it on a wall, you're perfectly fine. You're not going to have lights behind the wall. In this case, I'm hanging it free and there's a lot of light back there, but I turned it off. But your lighting, I learned that it's best to have it coming down at me. So I've got a light up here. I'm going to show you it in a second here. I've got a light up here, an LED light up here. I've got an LED light coming this way to erase any shadows behind me. I've got another LED light over here coming this way to erase any shadows that way, because shadows can really mess you up. Now let me show you real quick the lighting I have. Now, like I said, this is a really cheesy, cheap setup, but that's what we're about. We're about saving money. There's my light I have up on top. That's an LED light. I have it tilted out facing me. I've got one on this side here. It's an LED. That's to erase the shadows behind me. And there's another one there, same type of light, erasing the shadows on the other side. So I get a clear picture from my green screen. Now, I don't have a lot of room to work here. My green screen is directly behind me, so I've only got a couple feet. So if you have a small space that you have to use, this is probably a pretty good idea of a setup. Let's go back to what we were doing. Now, I knew some people were going to be like, oh, well, you need to have this kind of light. You need to bounce the light. You need to do that. Yeah, well, keep in mind, first and foremost, I'm trying to save you guys money. The two desk lamps I showed you, the LED desk lamps, I got them on clearance at Walmart for $3 each. They work fine. I'm not here to be Steven Spielberg. The top light is a regular shop light with LED light. It seems to work just fine for less money. I'm not a huge channel. I don't have a Patreon. I don't beg for donations. This is what I got. But and it took me 4 years to figure out exactly how to do it, to get it as good as I can get it, which is what you're about to see. A lot of people want to do green screens cheap. No one wants to spend $100 just on a green screen and spend $200 on a light setup. If you want to do that and that's your thing, hey, knock yourself out, man. Go for it. Not a problem. I'm glad for you. I wish you all the luck in the world. I'll enjoy your videos too. But this is how us cheap people are going to do it. So now we got our light set up. We got our background set up. We're ready to go, right? Okay. Well, I use OBS Studio to film my videos. And that's what I'm going to try to show you now. Funny thing is, there's a function on OBS Studio, it's called Windows Capture, where you can capture whatever you're doing, whether it's a browser or any active window on your computer. But you know what you can't do? You can't capture the OBS Studio screen. So I got to go the best way I can think of, and I got to put this camera on the screen and show you how to fix the settings. And that's what we're going to do now. Okay, hey, once again, I'm going to apologize for the video quality on this. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's its own program. I can't put this up like I want to. I know it can be done, but I don't know how. So I had to turn the camera around and to show you the settings and what I'm going to do. Now, if you look at my settings here, I have Video Capture Device 2. That's me right here, this camera. It's a crappy camera. I just have one just to have me there. And then Video Capture Device, probably could have labeled it better. That's the one that we want to put the green screen on. Now, the way to activate the green screen is very easy. I'm going to go down here to Video Capture Device. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to go to Filters. Then I'm going to click the plus sign down here on Effects Filters, and I'm going to give myself Chroma Key. Now, most of the time, the default works just fine. So we'll just put that on there as default. I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to click on Close. And see how it got all funky? That's because it's active. Don't panic. It probably won't happen to you. It's because of what I'm doing, the way I'm doing it. And just to give you a quick overview so you can actually see it in action, I'm clicking on me up here, this camera, Video Capture Device 2. That's me right here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click on the plus sign. I did it again. No. I'm going to right click on it. Click Filters. This is so hard to explain sometimes. I'm going to click on the plus sign under Effect Filters, and I'm going to apply Chroma Key to this one too. And I'm just going to click OK. I'm going to click Close. Now you'll see everything looks like psychedelic behind me. That's just means the green screen's working because we haven't picked an image to be behind us now. Now I'm going to pick an image. So let me load up an image. You can go to, this is where you go to the plus sign. Click add, find image, locate your image wherever you have it saved on your hard drive. I'm going to go with, that's the one I used for the last video, so I want to do something different. I know I have a couple on my desktop. I'm just going to go ahead and find the one I'm looking for. I like this one. That's my toy room. I'm going to put that in the back. Don't have to do anything. Just going to click OK. You can drag it around and resize it, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to drag this guy here. I'm going to resize it, make it fit the window. Now, as you can see, you don't see any of the other cameras. You don't see me. You don't see the... I guess you do see the... No, you don't see the... Nope, you're not even seeing the controls. Well, I'm going to click on image, and I'm going to have to show you this again. I'm going to click on image. I'm going to lower it. And I'll show you how I did that in a second. Okay, what I did, the image is the picture I just picked. It was on the top. I clicked on it once, and I used these keys to bump it down until I get the result I wanted. Because I have two green screens active, that's why it's not working. But you see what to do on that. Now, I'm just going to get rid of myself here. Bye. I'm going to click on minus. Bye-bye. Man, I wonder if this is like good for the camera because it's doing the infinity thing. And you can see the way I have it set up now, I have the video capture device on top, I have the image underneath, and I've already activated the green screen. So when I turn this camera around, you should see the image I picked and myself. In fact, I'm not even going to cut this out. We're going to do it manually. There it is. Now you see there's little fudged up stuff on the side. That's okay. And there we go. We got our green screen working. It's back here. Now you can see it moving a little bit. I'm going to leave that to you guys to, practice a little bit and figure out what to do to fix that. But that's all there is to it. Now you can do your video, talk about whatever you want, and no one needs to see what a slob you are when they look at your shop. I'm trying to think if I left anything out. I don't think I did. You can put a video on there too. There's one of the options to put a video on there instead of just a still image. And I've used that in my Banana Splits video where I was talking about Chuck E. Cheese. That's pretty much it. And like I said, I know it looks ghetto, it looks cheap, whatever you want to call it. It's supposed to be. Because I'm cheap. What can I say? I'm very, very cheap. And this is just a cheap way to do it. Sure, absolutely. If you have the money, go on eBay or go on Amazon and get the actual green screens and expensive lights and stuff like that. But if you look at the edges around me, and I got a boo-boo. I got a boo-boo. I was playing with the dogs earlier. But if you look at the edges around me, they're nice and crisp, they're clear. It takes a little fiddling with the lights in your situation, but once you fiddle with the lights, the only complaint I have right now is I look really, really pale. I'm kind of am pale, so that's actually not a mistake. So, hey, I hope this helped you guys, especially you new YouTubers trying to, start a channel. And remember, it's all about having fun. No one wants to spend a lot of money. It's about having fun. And if it works, it works. One last thing. Where did I put that green piece of paper? Once you're all set up and ready to go, you want to watch what you're wearing. You don't want to wear greens. I'm surprised I'm getting away with this camouflage hat, but this is kind of my trademark hat. If you wear anything green, it's gonna go right through. So here's the floating head. Ooh, oogie boogie boogie. Yeah, this is green. This is that green piece of paper I showed you earlier. Anything green will just go right through. It's kind of cool if you want to do some trick photography, some magic tricks, freak out a 3-year-old. But yeah, you want to wear. I have better luck wearing dark colors. I find it better to use wear dark colors and have bright backgrounds. This isn't so bright, but the one I used last night was very bright, and it actually came out better. So, hey, I'll leave that up to you. I hope it works for you. And, leave me a like and a comment. Leave me a link to your channel. I'd like to check out your work. All right. Bye.
It's just Bruce. He don't bite. Hello.